Come on, guys.
Let's do this.
I love the look of this door.
Wow, I didn't hear it.
Dude, I can't even wait. I can't even wait.
What's about to happen right now? Damn, it's so different. Oh my goodness.
Holy shit, this place is blowing up.
Hey, it's Subcool WeedNerd.
And Ms. Jill.
Get your bowls,
and your bongs.
your pipes, your vaporizers.
And your big fat blunts.
It's time to get high with the WeedNerd.
Well, I'm a weed nerd. This call me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me no wanna crack. Now we no study that. Weed nerd, nothing but the high grade. So won't you come my way? So won't you come my way? Weed nerd. This call me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me no wanna crack. Now we no study that. Weed nerd, nothing but the high grade. Smoke a lot of herb, smoke a lot of herb.
Come on, weed nerds, let's all get down to that old school sound with that K-Lou pound. Put seeds in the ground, tilling up the dirt. Shovel in my hand and I'm putting in work. Weed nerd, connoisseur, growing the killer. In the backyard with the mountain gorilla. Game stiller, still another, what you think? Miss Jill's got tips on growing the dank. Cheesequake, Aldo, Indo funky. Time wreck hash laced in my blunt seat. Skunky, smelly, space bomb sticky. Stepped in the dough, got the whole team with me. Iggy Pop, my city's hot. Ukiah,
all right.
Got the green on lock. Chilling in my weed crop, blowing some herb. Dope boy, OD, yeah, I'm a weed nerd.
That's right. We are weed nerds, and welcome to the show. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. It's going to be a pretty cool show tonight because if you guys have been following me on the live feed, I've been playing with rosin. Me and Jill have been smashing it a little bit. We're learning our different strains. Of course, we got to do this at the rosin booth at the
That was awesome.
That was funny shit.
That was
It kind of got us into there. We actually met Vincent there. He was so damn busy. I don't even know if he remembers it or not, but pretty cool. But we'll get to that in just a second. I got a little bit of business to do first. I want to get to everybody real quick. And, of course, to the main host, Minnesota Nice. You guys have been busy. He was fucking stoned last week. He just admitted he was so stoned last week. That's why he was there. So how you doing this week, buddy?
Oh, man. You know, I'm probably going to be stoneder on tonight's show. If that's a word, actually, everyone. I'm going to be stoneder because, I'm smoking heavy indicas over here. We pressed up a bunch of rosin tonight. So I got some Doctor Who going. So doing really good, though. Last week on the show, we were able to raise and pay forward $1,000 for Jada. And I just want to applaud everybody for that. We did a really good job. Malik has been hard at it. He has been the one holding it down for Growing Together.
So
I just want to let everybody know that Malik has been working his ass off for this. And we all owe him a round of applause for putting this together and making it happen. So.
And props to the whole team. I mean, when somebody asked me, hey, what'd you do last week? I said, dude, we raised $1,000 for a kid that has vanishing white matter syndrome. And it was like, boom, it's just so real and so hardcore. And shout out to Sid for the graphic and the hard work on the ads he's doing too.
You guys are fantastic. Just a little adjunct for the helping stuff. I'm actually being active on the boards again. Been working Overgrow a little bit, and I joined another forum. I remembered something last night about the boards. I remembered these things called haters. But I tell you what, being a part of Growing Together gave me the biggest stick. I said, dude, I raise money for sick kids. What the fuck do you do in life?
Right.
So, yeah, talk about a there, guys. Also tonight we have in the house Sid Avery from the remote tonight. How you doing, big guy?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on the show tonight, as always, Seth.
How's the garden, big guy?
Garden's going good. I started laying some of the plants down on the side and then putting trellis over the top. So now the tops, it's not like stretching out anymore. It's just filling up. So it's nice to seeing it, fill up as it goes.
Yeah, it's cool. We got so many nets in the backyard. I don't even know. We got another one going up next week. So,
what else are you growing, Sid? I noticed on your Instagram you have quite a few different vegetables and stuff. Look like quite the green thumb.
Oh man, you just opened a can of worms, Joe. I got way too much. I got some zucchinis. I got a bunch of different varieties of tomatoes. We got a bunch of peppers. Basically, just a bunch of onions, and then these other. There are other kind of tomatoes, but they're green. They're tomatillos is what they're called. They make
I've
awesome
seen those.
sauce. Yeah, you make awesome green sauce out of those. Yeah, we got a lot going
Your
on
family-
vegetable-wise.
Does your family just store this stuff up through the winter?
Usually that whatever we can't get rid of. So we have everything that we want ourselves, and then what's still around we try and give away, and then whatever we can't give away, then we have to figure out something to do with
rock.
it. Yeah.
So tonight on the
Thank
show
you.
we have it's kind of a new little thing here. I just thought of it on the fly, kind of funny. Mr. Lickety Split, TJ Will hanging out in the show. Will is I don't know what you call fucking Will.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Will has a facility set up in Arizona for production of TGA. He also has a fucking piece of paper that says he can certain number of people. He's also one of the 835 whatever the fuck caregivers in the whole fucking state or some shit.
Yay,
like
Will.
crazy ass
Rock.
situation, but he hangs out, holds down, tells what's going on in the street, and even cooler. What I like about it, this is a little bit of self shit, but it's still cool. The number one question I have to ask all my life, anytime I'm live or anytime I'm streaming, making rosin, making ash, where can we get TGA Genetics? Well, Lickety Splits in the motherfucking window. So they'll ask him.
And you know, I do that. I use his information. I just say at TGA Will.
Yeah.
It is so much easier than giving an email address or doing all these things. It's, just,
That's
it's
right.
simple.
You guys that don't have access to shops and stuff like that, it just helps us. So also tonight on the show, we are honored. We have Tony with Galactic Gardens and Bo in the house. We'll be getting with them in just a minute. He'll tell us about the Clear and the 40 and all the new exciting strains from Galactic Gardens. And of course, we got a cup coming up here shortly in Michigan they just announced. So we're pretty excited about that. And also we're going to be talking to Vincent with Rosin Tech. And we're going to wear this guy out. He asked me earlier if it was going to be the whole hour. Well, I have about 50 fucking questions to ask the guy. So we're going to learn a lot. One of the things that I will tell you guys, and this is completely unscripted, I was doing a little bit of studying today, and the one thing about these guys sell rosin presses, and it's no secret that the Sasquatch guys, I bought one of those because I thought the V2 was cool and everything. But the thing about the rosin guys is information. I mean, when I'm trying to find information on squishing products or anything, every single time you keep coming up. So you're the one helping everybody learn the method, and that's why we have Vincent on the show tonight. A couple of things I want to get into tonight. Couple of things I want to tell you guys. So we have a charity to this week, and it's Miss Jill's People Helping People, and I'm going to let her tell you about it, but she's wanted to help this person for about 6 weeks, and every time she's very polite, she's quiet, she hears about somebody else, and so this week we're going to raise money for certain somebody through Miss Jill's charity. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, she's actually a weed nerd, and her son is Danny. He was born as a normal little baby boy. He went in and he got his MMR shots, mumps, measles, rubella, just like every other child does. And with that evening, he ended up with 107 fever, and the next morning he woke up brain dead and never said mommy again. So, yeah, and that was at 23 months old. He was autism. Now he's, I believe, 23 years old, and she struggles to take care of him, and she's a single mom. So I would really like to give her some help. She's an awesome lady.
And if I can interject from what I've seen, baby, I watched Danny online on the little Instagram feed, and he's a grown child, so he's a full-grown person. He's big as me, but he's a child. You see him at the beach playing with stuff, and he definitely it's one of those things. So anyway, that's who you're helping out tonight. A friend, a weed nerd, and somebody that could definitely use some help. It's not like the world's going to end if we don't help this person, but certainly her life would be a lot better. She deserves it. So,
but can you imagine the struggles of raising an autistic child 23 years ago?
No.
It's just now coming into the light, autism awareness. And on that note, I would also like to say I have a 20-year-old daughter, and she was just recently diagnosed with autism. She's on the high-functioning end of the autism spectrum, and she actually has written a really amazing article about what it was like to grow up with autism, because none of us in her family knew that she had autism. She never crawled forward. She only crawled backwards. She holds pins and pencils, just kind of weird, spoons, never held anything correctly. But
we thought she was smarter than us.
They pulled me into the office about first or second grade, and they said, we're testing your child. And they come back and tell me, well, she's talented and gifted in reading and writing, as well as in science and as well as intellectually gifted. So I just assumed my daughter was a little bit odd because super smart people often are. But as it turns out, she struggled since she's about 10 years old. And if you would like to catch up on her story, please check out my Instagram. It's only a few pictures down. And you can also look at her up on Instagram at Secrets Never Cease.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. And again, I got to say it again, just to expand it. So she sent a poem today, and I read the poem, and I'm like, this is my autistic daughter, like fucking smarter than me. But
she is an amazing human being.
Yeah,
Autistic is not, doesn't define people.
So make sure you dig deep, do what you can, send some stuff in, all that kind of stuff. Real quick, I want to talk about the T-shirt thing. So I'm going to be honest. So Taja makes the T-shirts, Dirk, and she will make the T-shirts for us, but she's a mom. And she's always busy. So
this is my my
middle daughter.
So she's 21, just had a four-month-old baby.
So get the T-shirts in, and as soon as we get enough of them, we'll make a quilt and we'll get it up and we'll raffle.
Yes, it's amazing. It takes 35 T-shirts to make this 5x7 quilt, and they're all industry T-shirts. So if you own a company, it's a great way to get advertising and something that somebody's going to have laying in their house forever.
So we are fixing to talk with the rosin guys, Vincent, but it's time to load your bowls, get high with the Weed Nerds. I'm sure Jill's got a nice fat bud. What are you
Here's
smoking,
a nice fatty of Loco.
Oh, you're smoking Loco?
Trying to make it so you can see it. And here's just a little nuggie of some Chernobyl.
Oh, snap.
All right, so while we get high, before we get started here, let's do weekly contests. So Blue Planet Nutrients,
Yes.
You want to check out the Glean contest?
Yeah, we got a nice Blue Planet Nutrients giveaway. He's going to let the person decide what 3-part they like, too. So this is going to really help push forward the charity for Jill and people helping people, guys. So reach deep and let's donate. And if you got extra T-shirts as well, email me. I'll put the email in the chat, and let's get it rolling. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And I believe Tony's doing some donations this week. Mr. Galactic Gardens, what you got there, buddy?
Yes, sir. We got a 10-pack of Jack's Cleaner, too.
I'm talking about rare coming up with the goodies.
10 packs
so
of Shangri-La.
Jinx don't even have Shangri-La right now. So
that 10-pack go time. And each pack's going to get a Galactic Gardens pin.
Haha, nice.
I want a Galactic Gardens pin. I don't have one.
Oh, hey, Subcool. Hey, that's how. Yeah, that's how I felt when I didn't have a nap pin. Subcool. I just had to have that guy.
All right, everybody on the panel that doesn't have a nap pin, send you a nap pin Monday. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to take this hit of Jelly Bean rosin here, and we're going to kick it over to Vinny with Rosin Tech's product. He's been incredibly patient sitting here waiting since 5:20. And so how you doing tonight, brother? Welcome to the show.
Doing very good. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Enjoy it.
Awesome. So why don't you just go ahead and give us the warm-up. Tell us about Rosin Tech Products, how you got into the business, and how you got with the company and what your role is.
I do technical support with the company. I also do shipping and receiving and do quite a bit of customer service. I'm at the shows where we press live. We always press for free, and we set up an experience so people can see how it goes from the raw product all the way to the dab that you can use, the wax that can be used in the edibles, and it's an instant process. As soon as it's mashed, it's ready to go.
Absolutely. That's so a little bit and by the way, Vince and I will go off script a lot, but I won't booby trap you. So we enjoy the rosin experience so much that at the last cup, we have our own booth, and we kind of get our little thing going at times, and we got this area, and I didn't like our area. They stuck us in the fucking dirt, and the whole time I was in your booth. There's like, where's Subcool? I was like, well, he's in the rosin booth. He's down there with Mendo Dope and Herb Man smashing shit, and it was fun. There we took some
Time Wreck and some Space Queen.
We took a little bit of
pressed out amazing.
Oh my god, it really does.
Very oily, heavy strain. You can almost tell by the texture of a strain if it's going to press out right, because it's heavier and it's not dry looking. It's
greasy,
oily.
Yeah. And so we are looking forward to being part of the rosin experience at the Emerald Cup. I think we're going to get with Pat and maybe get us a little booth over there in the corner so we can be part of the party. We don't get left out. So, well, let's talk about. I thought I'm gonna tell you what I know about rosin pressing very quickly, which is nothing. But my fans actually, I don't know, they understand me and they've been watching. So, I saw this rosin stuff. I was like, cool. Me and Jilly smashed a bud one day with a hair straightener. I think that's kind of where everybody starts. And then the industry went speed. I mean, you weren't even invented when we were squishing the shit, whatever. And then boom, there's all these companies. So I got a machine and started playing with it. My very first efforts were not that great myself, and I've learned a couple of tricks. The one thing I've learned is for me, and these are again for me. Press. I was trying to put the bag in this fucking thing. Well, that don't work, and I was also trying to squeeze this and then put the weed in the bag, and that don't work too good. I guess I had the wrong bags. You can tell us about that later. So what has worked for me was pre-pressing the bud and then folding the son of a bitch. One of the problems I was having was with the little 4x6 plate, which you guys have bigger presses than that, but I'm talking about what I use specifically, and probably what most people are going to end up buying, not a fucking giant commercial. 4x6 is common. So what we found was when we tried to press this, it smoothed out past the 4x6 plate. So we folded it in half. And all I'm getting to is what I learned this morning in about 2 hours is less is more. I was down there trying to smash 3.5, 4 grams of bud at the time. And then I was live talking to people, and they're like, Sub, just do a couple of grams, do a gram. And then when I started doing less, I started getting more. So we just want to talk about flowers for right now. So can you correct me and jump in where I was and tell us about it?
Well, we sell many different presses because we want everybody to be able to get a press, from the guy just wanting to do something at home all the way up to someone that's doing something on an industrial level. So, we have the twist. We're constantly coming out with new models. The twist is great for at home. You bolt it down to a table, it does 5,000 pounds. Then we go through our pneumatic to our hydraulic, all the way up to our 20-ton H-frame hydraulic, which has 8x8 plates. I've personally done up to 50 grams at a time on it. But it depends on whether you're doing concentrate. As far as flour, like you were talking about your mold, we're actually coming out with some new molds. We have some molds now. We're going to come out with some other ones that's easier to press out once you have it put together. And the mold part of it, as far as putting the bag in, you were talking about putting it in before. Sometimes that's good if you have a bag over stuff. You just smash it down a little bit, pre-press it before you get it in, depending on how you do the end of your bag. And micron size, has a lot to do with your bags. As far as a lot of people want a different quality. I try to even out mine. I want the most I can get and the best I can get. So, I kind of I'll go with 120 micron, on my flour, where somebody else may go with a smaller micron.
Oh, you're muted, Subby. No
Sorry,
worries.
I'm trying to learn. So I got some 35 bags downstairs, and I got some 75. I've actually got one bag of rosin bags, and the one thing I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, and it's gonna sound like I'm shining you, but it is what it is. First thing I noticed, I got all these bags downstairs. All these fucking weed nerds are telling me to turn the bag inside out. I'm like, what a pain in the fucking ass. Well, I open up this bag that says rosin on it, and the bags are turned inside out like they're supposed to be. So that's like the first thing I noticed. And also notice the bag that I have, they're bigger. I would say they're like 4 inches. It's kind of like a satchel. So I actually stood one up today and smashed it. Is it the Nugs? I'm sorry to mention other companies. I hope that doesn't drive you crazy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay,
we believe there's room in the industry for everyone. We don't want to monopolize. We just try to be the best.
Good. And this is about learning, and we have you on for a reason. But I'm watching all these pictures. So the Nug Smasher guys, they got a picture out there right now, and I'm not sure some of these pictures aren't faked a little bit, but they got like a bag it looks like they smash a garbage can, like a bag of leaves all the way down. Hell, it 2.5 grams off a 3.5 gram of weed. I was pretty impressed with that. But what I'm getting to is, it looked like to me when we first started fucking with this, a lot of our goodie got trapped in the bags. And that's why I started smashing flowers without bags. I'd smash the hell out of it. I'd get me this nice little gold ring, and then the bag would be full of the stuff. Now, is that a problem?
And
or is
can I also add in, we were very careful to make sure we had it down in the corners, poked it down in the corners, up tight against all the sides like we were told to do so that it wouldn't get caught up inside. We lower the press very slow. We allow it to heat the product before we bring down and put pressure on it. And so basically, long bags, or what is the problem?
That's another thing that, as far as pressing, some things will press 2 times, some will press 3. People ask me all the time when they call, how many times should I press? As many as you can. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This is one of our new bags. We have all different sizes. As you'll notice, there are no seams on this bag. They're ultrasonically sealed. So you don't have to turn these inside out. They're seamless. And we have them in virtually any micron size you could want, from 25 all the way to 220. And we have them made for the sizes all the way up to our 12-ton, which is 2x9 stainless steel plate. And as you were saying, you mash bag buds without a bag. I do that at the shows too. If I have a really compact nug, good size, whatever that, or if you have several buds that will stick together without getting the particulates all over the paper, you can mash without a bag. But I was mashing trim here at the shop behind me earlier, and when you use a material like that, you really need a good bag. And as far as having some caught inside the bag, with ours it's very minimal, using the right amount of product and the correct press for the amount of products you have. We take, and my family, my mother-in-law, T-Girl 420, has cancer, and we actually make her medicine and soak the bags in butter and make her edibles from the leftover chips that are in the bags.
So you reuse them. I mean, you use all what you've already pressed, and there's still enough in there?
Oh, I take the bag and all and slow melt it into butter to make edibles. It comes out fantastic. We don't waste anything start to finish.
Beautiful.
So you didn't see what I built this afternoon. So I went through and made a bunch of rosin, which I'm smoking. It's delicious. And but the chips, everybody kept saying, Sub, stack the chips up and smash them again. So I stacked some of the chips up and did it again. And I got an okay return, but for me, is worth. I would just put the chips in a container, and then when Jill makes cookies, butters for me, which she does, we would extract the rest of it. It wasn't that I didn't get a return. It's this, I got a piss poor return for a bunch of work. So that has to do with what you want out of it. I mean, if you got nothing,
you know, I would really like to try his bags.
But we have some downstairs.
We do, okay.
The problem we have is hash bags. So before the show's over, you can bet we're going to have every rosin fucking bag there is to mankind downstairs by our little machine, because obviously the 35s are for hash and not weed.
Okay.
Now, while we're talking about this, a big plug here. So tell us about Dab Nation. I'm going from just a website to on-site location. They have everything, dab mats and all the stuff you need. And they're going to use their 20,000-foot square house to build out and take out more space. So tell us a little bit about Dab Nation.
Dab Nation right now is a website, and we carry all different products on there, our products, other people's products. And soon we're going to start doing reviews of other people's products. And we're actually putting in we already have the space. They're in there putting the floor in today, and it's going to be our retail store. We'll have our presses in there. We'll have everything you see on Dab Nation, and things that we see that we want to carry. We'll have other people's things in there also. And we'll have our Pollen Master line in there. We also have Pollen Master, and we have the electric nail is part of us. And we'll have everything offered within the store right here at our retail location.
Awesome. Well, sounds like some damn one-stop shopping, which is kind of needed, because, you know, where we got our press from didn't have decent bags, and I'm not ragging anybody. It is what it is. So I ended up going over to your website and ordering the bags I wanted to. So it's really nice to have, you know, one place to do that. So again, going off script. Now, we've talked a lot about flowers. Now, makers that make hash for me, they make rosin. Fresh squeezed bubble hash, and I like it a lot, but it's expensive. And one of the things that I've hesitated to do it myself is the hash that I have in the refrigerator to squish is bubble hash, and it's fucking white, and it's nice, it's high quality, and obviously that shit's expensive. So I was downstairs the other day live with the Weed Nerds, and I smashed me a bunch of weed, and I got me a little hash bag, one of those little 35s, and I got me to scoop a bunch of that hash and put it in there, and right in the end I was like, 4 or 5 grams of pure hash right now. So hash is different. So now this morning, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get technical. This morning, I was pressing at 190 on the top plate, 200 on the bottom plate, according to what people were telling me, and I was doing about a whoosh. I have an air compressor, but I like the hand pump while I'm learning. So I ramped it on up to about 6,500, almost 7,000 PSI. And I'll say we're using oil slick mats because the parchment paper just tears the shit over 5,000. They do better. So that's how I do weed. And when I shut up, I'd like you to tell me worse for the weed, but hash is a different temperature and I believe a different pressure. So tell us a little bit about the technical.
Well, we have a single ram pneumatic, and it has a speed control on it. And of course, you were talking about pumping the cylinder presses. That works really great when you have something in the bags and you have it stuffed on concentrates. If you come down with too much pressure too quick, you'll tend to blow your bag out. And your material, it's not wasted. You can always scrape it and put it into another bag. And so you're not wasting it, but you want to go good the first time. And usually with concentrate, when I'm doing scissor bubble, I will put it in a finer micron bag and I'll ease on the pressure. But I usually start out about 170 to 180 and then go up from there, depending on the consistency and the yield of how it comes out. Like, we were talking about flour at the shows. I always go 225 on the machines because I want everybody that comes up to get a good yield. Now, if you're at home and you're running something, you may want to go a lower temperature to get the color you want, the consistency you want. Whereas at the shows, everything I mash all day long is different. And as far as with the concentrate, same thing. You may want to lower your temperature lower than 175. I mean, I've heard of people mashing at 150, and it's to each individual's preference. But I find between 175, 185 to start, and I'll go a minute, minute and a half.
Oh, you're muted again, Subby.
Everybody's telling me to ask about this guy. Let's see, Soil Grown Sal. Is he the first smasher? Is that the first?
Sun-grown Trichrome. Who is Sun-grown Sal? Or Soil Grown Sal? And if you would like for Soil Grown Sal to be on the show,
Is that, did he figure it out, Vincent?
From what I understand, now this is secondhand information to me, that he was the originator of starting to mash some hash and wound up with some, and he's also connected with the rosin machines from Sasquatch.
Oh.
Okay, I got you. Okay, well that makes that the turnaround. Okay, now I see the connection. All right, so Rosin Tech is going to be in British Columbia this month for the High Times show. Freeze! Fucking High Times in the Cannabis Cup. Oh, Cannabis calls me on the damn phone the other day. Goes, you know the fucking High Times having a Cannabis Cup in Canada and can't really. What are they going to smoke? Beasters? I'm sorry, you Canadians. I had to do that shit. But no, they're really going to have it. And I said, well, fuck, you want to go rep it, oh, Cannabis? He's like, fuck, I can't put a Cannabis Cup together in 3 weeks for TGA. I said, no, you can't. But next year you can. But so they're going to do a damn Cannabis Cup up there. And you guys are going to have the entire solventless experience up there. So tell us a little bit more about that event. And are you excited?
Oh, very excited. I get excited for every event. I love every one of them. I have such a good time, and I love the company I work for. We're the people that the two guys that own this company met in college, and they're just two smart guys, but they're also part of the cannabis community. So they're not just running a business, you know, they're part of the same culture we all are, and daily smokers. And as I said before, we don't hate on anyone. If someone calls us with a problem, even if they didn't buy a press from us, if we can, we'll sit and talk with them, give them some advice, help them out. After all, we're just all part of the same thing. And we do try to be the best we can. And I love the Cannabis Cups with High Times. I mean, High Times been around since 1974. What can you say about what they've done for the cannabis community and are still doing? And they're just trying to go bigger and better all the time. And we're trying to do it too. With the solvent experience, we try to show someone how they can take their product and we can tumble it in our pollen masters and get the keef. We can take the raw flower, press it on our multiple presses, whichever ones they want to use. We always mash for free. Then they can take it to our collection center and we have people working it. They'll put it in the freezer, get it out a few minutes later, collect it, put it in a little envelope with their name on it. They can take it with them. We have dab lounges in our setup. They can use our e-nails and our rigs if they want to. And we also have, usually have Nick T with us from Essential Extracts in Colorado. He runs our lab, and we have full reverse osmosis water, reverse osmosis ice machine, and for the cleanest product, you know, with the freeze dryer. And I try to show everybody the entire washing of the product all the way to the end.
You make me laugh, Nicky T. All these kids go so far in this business. Like, I can remember when I walked within 20 foot of Nicky T, he dropped what he was doing, and he was standing 2 foot away from me asking me about genetics. And at the Rosin experience, that boy was king of your booth, man. It was awesome, dude. He had his water filters and his ice.
Yeah, he does a good
David
job.
Copperfield on a hash. Yeah, no, that's an awesome fucking experience, dude. So, and now we talked about it earlier, but there's 322 people here. I really want to talk this up. So me and Joe walked over, and we each had some bud. We kind of walked around. There's lots going on. Nicky
Can I
T's.
hold on for 1 second? Yeah. Bingo keeps repeating this. We do not use the oil slick mat. We use the papers that they sell to put on the press.
Well, yeah, we don't put rubber mats on the press. We're not retarded. They make a laminated. They make it a laminated piece that just works better than parchment. But good to clear that up.
It's got something on it.
It's got something on it. Yeah, it makes it come off a little easier. Anyway, so we walked over there, and there's so much going on, and we walked over to a small press, and it's kind of funny when me and Jill are at cups. We're not always noticed right away. So we stood there for a little while, and I think that's about the time I may have saw Vincent and someone else. So we actually got on one of the big machines. Time wrecked for me, some Space Bomb, excellent returns. By the way, you showed me a trick because you turned yours up just a little bit. That's also why it was a little darker than what I've been playing with recently. But you also smashed some hash. So if you get a chance to go do this, I mean, where else can you go to an event? And you can either buy cannabis, which I recommend because it's going to smash well, or you can go buy some goddamn cannabis from the Emerald Cup. There's so weed laying on the ground at the Emerald Cup. There's so much fucking weed there. So pick up some weed, go visit these guys, and learn something about squishing.
They let you squish for free, and then not only do they allow you to use their machine for free, they also have another booth set up where there's a couple of people that'll help you scrape it up, put it in the fridge, freezer, whatever they do with. Then they scrape it up and put it in a little bag for you, or a little envelope for you to take home. So it's amazing service for free.
Awesome information here coming from Vincent Rosin. Got to do some business here real quick. So don't forget, we're raising money tonight for Growing Together for Miss Jill's charity, People Helping People. Make sure you hit up the Growing Together website. I'm sure Malik will throw that link up there. Also, don't forget, we have a couple of contests tonight. The Glean contest we're running tonight is for Blue Planet Nutrients. We've also got some Jack's Cleaner 2 and really rare original go time. Jinx has his own thing going now, and they're up at Indo Expo.
Yeah.
Up there partying with everybody, so that's really cool there. But this is the chance to get some of the original Shangri-La that came to us. So make sure you shout out for that. All right. So one of the things that I saw when I was there that I didn't spend much time with, and I think the main reason was somebody mentioned some price tag on it that made me stop thinking. But I guess you guys have a roller. You just stick the shit in there, and it rolls through, and it oozes out one side. So tell us a little bit more about the roller Show Industries office, and I'm sure Malik's will pop a link for it. How does that thing work, and what makes it better or worse than other products?
Well, as it goes through the roller, the rosin roller, it's American made right here at our facility. It's guaranteed for life, and what makes it different is the product doesn't stay on the surface. As it goes through the roller, it's only touching the heat. As soon as it gets the product away from the raw material, it pushes it back out towards you. It doesn't go all the way through, and it keeps pushing. And it's our first introductory model. It works very well. It has the highest yield over all of any machine we've tried, and it simply works good. And we offer a travel case with it. A Pelican case comes with it, with the bags and the parchment. And it's just really been a good machine. We've only recently came out with it on 420, and we're just now starting to get it rolling. No pun intended.
No, it's cool. I really thought it was a cool idea, and I saw it had a couple of different sets of springs. Those are tension springs, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is. You can take it from 3,000 pounds to 5,000 pounds. But what we've noticed is that the 5,000 pound mark with it puts out a higher yield the way it feeds through than machines that are 20 tons.
Wow. I tell you, I like the idea of that damn rolling machine now. I can't wait to see that thing again. So I am enjoying about this is everybody kind of knows that I'm a big hash hound. And this, I'm getting really specific now. This is about rosin. So I know that when you squish rosin out, it's incredibly terpy, and that's the freshest way to collect it. And you guys are coming out with a chilled plate, and it keeps it cool, and you can collect off of it, correct?
Yes, we are. We're going to be offering it very soon in multiple sizes, and it'll come out. You'll simply plug it in the wall, flip a switch. It'll go to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and you simply lay your paper on it. It makes collection just so much easier.
Thank you.
Dude, that's awesome. I can't. Yeah, that's really smart there. So collecting is really something neat. So what I was going to ask you is some of the stuff we work with is so gooey. Just it's like water almost. So somebody on the net said the other day to actually leave it out to let it air dry a little bit.
The black cherry soda does that.
Yeah,
and it's so sticky even
so
after it's
sticky.
been sitting in the fridge though, or in the freezer on the paper.
Even on the plate,
it
it was still
solid.
viscous. So to me, this sounds counterintuitive to actually let the terps bits of. Have you ever seen something so gooey it was just like really hard to collect? I guess that's my question.
Yes, I've seen the consistency really depends on the strand. I've seen some stuff come out and it's like Elmer's glue. Other things come out and they immediately break apart like shatter. The consistency really depends on the strand. Everything comes out different. I see some that come out granulated that looks like sugar. Some come out so beautifully buttery. It just really depends. Everyone can be different.
Very fucking cool. Well, we were talking before we went live, and a shameless plug for my friend Soil King Pat, but he's got a couple of strains of Mama's Boy and a couple of others. And not only were you talking about the strains themselves producing well, but growing properly. Now, we're super happy this year with our outdoor. I mean, this may sound like something not to brag about, but not one time in the season has my crop wilted. It's 115 degrees in the garden one time. And so our plants are not stressed out. They're happy. They're standing up. And you were indicating earlier that how a plant is grown, the health of the plant, the turgidity of the moisture inside the plant, this all has a lot to do with how they squish.
Hey, the green show? Just
Yes,
tell her to
very-
grab some 99% alcohol and wipe it up with a paper towel. No problem.
Sorry.
I apologize.
But yeah, a lot of it, it just depends on how it was grown, how it was flushed, how it was watered, what was used on it. When I was commenting on Soil King, just noticed that his strands match really well. And the way he grows his stuff, he doesn't put a lot of chemicals on them. He doesn't pesticides, he tries his best to grow stuff the way they did back in the day. They didn't have all that back in the day when they grew gardens, and so he's going, and I like that. I really like that. We used his Mama's Boy to treat my wife's mother. She's had cancer, and we make edibles out of it. She smokes it, and it's just a super good. It always produces. Every one of his strands when we press them, press is fantastic. And I just recently got to press some stuff from. We went to the Slow Cup over San Luis Obispo, and Pac-Man extracts. I got to do some of his juicy fruit. It just put out so much. Every once in a while, you find a certain strand. People in the business now know that Girl Scout cookies and Gorilla Glue are known to be really high producers of oil.
Can I ask you, do they press better if they're taken early, if they're taken on time, or if they're taken late? Does it matter?
That would really be more. I'm not a grower. I'm not really in on the growing thing. I really envy the guys that really know the ins and outs of the growing. I do not, but I've seen people do fresh cut to last year's crop and get good results.
Okay.
You never know until you put it under the plates, and then you'll see.
Well, you know, I was really impressed when I came and we pressed the Time Wreck out, the Space Queen out. I took it over to your girl at the booth, and she couldn't even fit it in an envelope. And she told me that that is all grower dependent, and if they have had nothing press out of buds before, and that is on the grower.
That's fucking awesome.
Great. That's fantastic.
That's awesome. Wait, smashing's fun. And I got to tell you, though, the other thing I learned today, since I was trying to cram a whole fucking quarter or an eighth in there in one time and smash the shit out of it. And obviously I need a bigger machine. We may talk about that, but we're going to try to press a lot of the outdoor garden this year. Cause you know, it's a charity garden, and basically as soon as the shit's ready, I'm going to start harvesting and start smashing it, because we fight rains. And right now, I can tell you that light depth in California is around $900 a pound. And I'm talking about shiny fucking light depth with diamonds on it. So it's going to be a really rough year this year. So we want to be able to get our sun-grown or organic cannabis to market as quick as possible in bud form, hash form, and bam, in squishy stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So that's when we're going to bring the compressor. We've got a compressor, so we don't have to pump. It's going to be a little faster.
I don't think we're going to be selling the press, and that we get.
No, because I smoke all the
ours,
shit.
yeah.
I have yet. You're gonna love this. Okay, I'm a busy person. Jill's a busy person. I have yet to be able to squish as much of the shit as I can smoke in the day. So you spend a couple hours squishing this shit, and then you stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning smoking this shit. So we got to reach critical mass here one day. But I see guys online, and I got to ask you a question. So I see these guys online and they got a big hunk of this shit, and man, they're just spinning it, and they're making Lincoln logs, and they're making ropes. So how often do they stop and fuck up, and the shit is just stuck to everything? Like, does that happen?
Well, like I said before, if you have the consistency, and it depends on ambient temperature. If I'm in here and it's 80 degrees and I try to clean some up, you know, it's going to be gooey. Just like motor oil when it's cold is more consistent. If you get it hot, it's real runny, and the rosin's the same way. When it's warm, it's more gooey. That's the reason for the cold plate. And yeah, I see those guys too have the big long ropes going, and they're smearing it around. And if you sit in your processing and you have someone, if you're using bags, you have someone stuffing bags, you have someone pressing, you have someone cleaning up, it really doesn't take long to go through quite a bit. I can speak that from experience.
And can I ask you, I'm going to really get specific here now, because we're winding up with you, and I really want to get as much as that. So when we're preparing bud, so I've just been taking bud and kind of breaking it off the stem a little bit and then smashing it with my pre-press. Is there any more process? We don't want to grind it. We don't want to chop it in any way. We want to leave it in flower bud form without stem, correct?
See, and that's another thing that each individual tries it differently. With me, if I have a nice hunk of bud, I'll put the bud in between the paper, mash it. It seems to do really nice. If you have the small particulates, you know, leaf matter, you really need a bag for it. And as far as how long you press it, the temperature, everybody likes to do something different. I have people call me and say they're using these really high temperatures for a very short amount of time. And it's like whatever works for each individual, you know what I mean? I try to give everyone a good guideline to go by. But after you play with the machine for a while, everybody becomes savvy with it, you know, and they become their own little connoisseur of the way they want to do it, how much heat they like to use, and whatever works for the individual. And I've seen some people have some really nice turnouts, you know, doing it their way. So I just give everybody a guideline to go by to try to get them started.
So can I ask you, have you figured out a difference? I mean, have you tried fresh bud, like just off the plant, not cured, versus totally dry cured bud? Some old. Does the moisture content have anything to do with it? Do the terps dry out? Is it the moisture of the bud, or is it the terps that dry out, or does it matter?
I've noticed that some old bud will produce a lot of oil, but it has lost some of its terps, some of its aroma, some of its flavor. And I had a guy at the NorCal show brought in all fresh, straight out of his garden, straight, and it was pouring water off of it. But the oil that was left later was fantastic. He kept coming back to the booth all day. I smashed a lot for him. And then I have people, I had one guy call me and he said the 5th day of drying is the perfect time. Perfect time. And so
Good to know.
then again, it just depends. With you guys, it'd be nice in your drying time, take some little 1 gram samples, and try it through the different periods
I
of
think
the
we
drying
will.
period. See what works for you.
I've got some time rack up there that has not been jarred yet. That's on about a 7-day dry.
Smash it. Well, and what he's saying, I want to really get into this because I have learned a good bit in a short period of time. So the cherry pie that I been smashing that has given us the best results outside the jelly bean. If you would have taken it out of the jar, well, if me and Jill were smoking it, we would have opened the jar.
I hate the cherry pie.
Well, that's not the point.
No, I'm because
it's like that.
It's
I'm
hard,
sorry. I'm
and
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. She's right. She's right.
And I grew it as well in Oregon, and it was pot that I wouldn't actually smoke, but I had a friend that liked to press it out with just a flat iron.
Yeah.
So that was what he always wanted, and it pressed out so good. I saw some of the stuff.
So when I'm pulling it out of the jar, on that, if I was going to bring it up to like you were smoke or I was a smoke, I would let it sit on a tray for a day.
Yeah,
so
it's
still
and
mushy.
the time wrecks that way as well.
But that's
it's
why
hard
it's
to break
smashed
up.
so well. And the Jilly that I smashed today, which I got to tell you guys, Jilly ran a pack not too long ago, 2 awesome keepers and 3 awesome keepers, and one was just, I don't know, it smelled like oranges. It just wasn't that impressive. It's kind of a grassy, orangey smell. And I smashed that son of a bitch, and every single time it left the orange ring. That's what this is that's all Jilly smash, and that's 190 on the top plate, 200 on the bottom plate. This may sound stupid as shit, but you weed nerds told me to put 2 quarters under the back of my press so that it would be on a slight angle so the jizz would run forward faster than back. So people are really thinking this shit deeply. They're like, "So you got a couple quarters underneath it?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Yep, got to lean that fucker forward." So
the pot that's harder to break up with your fingers, harder to break up.
Oilier.
The stem is more oily and better for a press.
And definitely the sugary stuff should press more, but not. All right, so we've been talking with Vincent from Rosin Tech. If you guys have not checked out the Rosin experience, I believe the next one's going to be in Canada. Are you going to be in the Michigan one too, Vincent?
Oh, yes, for sure we'll be there. And I smoked some of your cherry pie and thought it was the shit.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. It is that shit. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got to tell you guys something. There's always something we do when we have somebody on the show. They want to know if he's a stoner or not. We've had people on here that use their wives as an excuse. So Vincent, when me and Vincent were talking before the show, he was telling me what strain he liked to squish. And that was that juicy fruit. So he's one of us, guys. Just so you know that. So thank you very, very much. I hope you guys will. I hope you'll hang around the show. Make sure you check out Rosin Technologies. Awesome product. Awesome people. Great customer support and lots of knowledge, and that's what we're all about there. Hey, so are you in the house? You got a black screen there. Since I'm stomped all over you for an hour.
There he is.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm here. I was just setting up for break time, just getting ready for the video. We're gonna do Mindo Dope, keeping it cool tonight. Figured everybody would like to listen to a laid-back song.
Awesome. So what do you think? How was that? Lots of info, right?
Dude, it was a knowledge bomb right there, and I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that again just so I can write down temperatures and everything and all the little specs that I just learned. Fucking awesome.
For me, the really cool thing about being able to talk with Vincent and because I've spent a couple of days down there, and I think the number one thing that I learned, not that we've learned here today, is that I was trying to smash too much of the shit at one time on a small plate. So if you're gonna want to smash more, you're going to need a bigger plate. You're going to need a bigger machine for you commercial type situations. Able to produce a couple of grams in a couple of hours by utilizing these techniques. I will continue to post my results. One of the things I want to do is lower the pressure, lower the temperature even more, and squeeze the shit out of it like 7,500 PSI. And then I also want to raise the temperature and a little less and see what the differences are on the different strains that we have and how they press out. And soon, and I got a comment all over the left place. So I bought these screens from this cat on Instagram called Dry Sift Wizard. I really like my screens a lot. Myself, apparently the guy's got all this drama and stuff surrounding him on Instagram that I was completely unaware of because I saw him, I bought him, he's delivered them to me, and that's the end of it. But apparently he's got all this. But we're going to use the screens to turn keef, Then we're going to put Keith in the Rosin Tech bags. I'm going to smash them, and we're going to make some goodie for us. So that's pretty fun. All right, don't forget, tonight's charity is Miss Jill's People Helping People. I could let her, but I'll tell you that long before any of us were talking about helping people, and before we were actually using helping people to raise money to help people, Jill just did. One of my favorite stories is I've got a Mendo Dope and a TGA Genetics pillow on my couch that I subverted to myself. There's a couple items in the back. There's a pipe or two. There's a T-shirt. There's a couple of things that just we haven't done in the contest and got them out. God, 6 years ago, as far as back as us, True Stoners.
Charity, yeah.
Jill's been helping people. So basically, if somebody sends something to Jill and she can help them out, she does. And so that's going on there. So support that. Don't forget about the contest. Do we want to go on break, or do we want to get with Miss Jill first, guys? I have to ask my producer.
You know, we still have great items.
Let's see. You know, let's ask chat. What's everyone smoking on tonight? You know, we haven't really gone through the lineup tonight. Let's talk to Tony and Bo over there real quick and ask those guys what they're chiefing on. I'm curious because they're always rolling with the heat too. For anybody that doesn't know, so.
we haven't stopped since we sat down. We're fucked up right now.
Well, we got to Tony in before he gets so fucking high I can't talk. Are you still with us? Are you still here?
You're too late.
Hello.
Too late.
Too late. This fucking look at his eye. Get your eyes on camera, bro. Look at this. Look at this man's eyes.
Dave's not here,
Don't
man.
You wish you got this fucking high? Don't you wish you got that high? God, there's not enough weed on the planet to get me that fucking stone, man. Oh, I love you, man.
Oh, I was rolling up some Jesus OG right now. We're gonna get higher.
Sauce. You got the sauce? Is it crystallizing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be fucking wasted.
It's like applesauce.
Man.
Oh God. Who did that? Care extractions, I'm guessing, right?
Medication, yeah, care extraction.
Shout
out.
Subcool Tech. On the other end, another coast, and I know who makes the shit. Come on, break bad on the nerd. That's cool, man. That's fucking cool. The sauce is boss. I like the sauce a lot. I got to talk to some scientist type people the other day, and I had kind of assumed that the liquid in the sauce was just something nasty, but that's not the truth. In fact, the person we were talking to was incredibly smart, and he said, and I quote, "There's so many fucking ways to make extracts right now that I'm a chemist and I don't know everything they're doing." So that tells you the state of what's going on. You got crystals and sauce and dabs, and I know our friend Pat Pooler is walking around at the Endo Expo with a fucking jar that looks like honey, and it's not honey. It's some kind of shit out of his 30-gallon-an-hour BHO machine. Crystal saucy. What do you got there, baby?
So here's a fatty locomotion, and this is actually from the Mendo Dope cut, and she is the mother plant of Mendo Dope. And I just wanted to show you guys this real quick in case you didn't get a chance to see. See this big, beautiful nug, right? It's pretty thick. We're going to put her in here. I'm just going to apply my own strength to this. Generally, if I was going to put this in the press, I would stand on it.
Yeah, we stand on it.
Because I'm only about 110 pounds. But, it's still better than
You're
my
probably
own
stronger than I am fucking heavy, though. Jill's really strong.
Yeah,
You wouldn't want Jill to squeeze you. Flatbud. Sailing rabbit.
Now, this is the thickness.
Well, then I'm going to go downstairs and smash that later. Can I smash
You're
that later?
welcome to, of course.
Okay, I'm going to smash that later. All right, I want to kick it back to Bo and Tony. So, dude, before you guys get too fucking high to remember what you created over there, would you tell us about the new strains that are going to be released under the Galactic testing label here coming up soon? Some skunks or what you got?
Yeah, I actually have some right here. This is the Tasmanian skunk, the island sweet skunk times Vortex. Real happy about that one. We're excited. Got some babies going right now. Should be pretty exciting weed.
What else did you guys run this time?
The AK, get that with Vortex, and the Gorilla Glue, also the Gorilla Glue 4, and MK Ultra also, yeah.
So that's going on in the tester market. I'll use this time to tell you a little bit more about testing. So we do this all the time on the show, but I'm usually a lot more ruder about it. I'll try to be polite for once. So testing's pretty simple. I am looking for people who can grow cannabis from seed, answer a couple emails intelligently, fill out a form that tells you about growing weed. It's smell, height, your notes. I'll send you a form. And if you want to test some seeds, then what you're going to do is you're going to email me at TJ Genetics website, and I'm going to send you back this form. And this is the one thing I want you to do. I want you to fill the form out on something you've grown before. You know what you're fucking doing. And I want you to send me a couple of pictures so I can judge your importance to the actual advertising portion of it. Now, if you cannot take great pictures, that does not exclude you from being a tester. I've never said that before, and that's why I wanted to be very clear. In fact, if you're incredibly good at what you do, and you don't post on the internet, and you don't post on Instagram, and you don't ever take a picture in your life, as long as you can give me the information. So that person would be used for something else. That person's going to be more the kind of guy that I'm going to actually use a sample to take to a lab and actually get some cannabinoid and terpene numbers.
Words to actually
use his words. And then you got that other guy that's got 50,000 fucking Instagram followers who's going to put it up there. And you got to remember, it's feast or famine. I mean, the guy can be putting up, or girl can be putting up beautiful pictures of strains, but she can also be reporting on how bad we fucked up. So this is not just like, this is real data. I can get my ass handed to me just as fast as I can. Good news.
You know, that's not really an ass handing to. If it's a shitty strain, that's why
that's what we want to do.
It's not a paid for strain yet.
Me and Jill threw 8,000 seeds of Bohemian Rhapsody in a Narcs flower bed. We happened to know where this narc was, and I was way crazier back then, and I slipped up in the shadows one night and doused all his fucking flower beds with these seeds. And there are right now weed nerds out there that'll tell you, God damn it, Sub, why did you get rid of Bohemian Rhapsody? Because me and her, that was really the essence of it. We still do that to this day. So I'm lingering on this testing thing, but it's important. So the very first thing to not do is to, when I send you the form, email me back with a stupid fucking question. The form has got everything that you could possibly want. So, you know, like immediately, Sub, do you want me to email you every day, every week, or every month? That is an immediate, I'm never going to speak to you again as long as I live person. I just want to be able to accomplish the task of getting Tony's Tasmanian skunk tested without 50 billion emails and without sending. My favorite is, hey man, I got this pack of Black Domina in the mail for testing. Can you tell me about it? Can't tell you about it, dude. That's like what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to tell me about it. So we've spent enough time on testing. And I think now we should all, let's take a little break. Let's go to break.
And you know, I get quite a few private messages on Instagram. People want to be testers, and I tell them to come and watch the show so that they can get the information first.
Don't message Jill.
Because
that's not how you do it. Email TJ Genetics.
Okay, you gave them the email.
TJ Genetics, gmail.com. Big website, contact. Okay, so we got it. So now it's full, and I got a lot of shit to go do. Let's smoke a bowl. Take us out, Minnesota Nice. Let's go on break. Everybody get high, get something to drink, go to potty.
Potty.
I'm a papa. Where's he at?
You think we don't know what you guys are up to? You think we're stupid?
Man, y'all tripping, man.
Tripping on what? We have the evidence.
That paperwork ain't shit, man. Y'all ain't got nothing.
We got plenty.
Oh, man, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure I do. We'll see what the judges have to say about that in court.
Shit, well, I ain't gonna say another word without my lawyer.
Look, man, we already talked to your brother and he told us everything.
Yeah.
So why don't you just make things easy on yourself and give yourself up now? Look, don't try and give me that personal medical bullshit.
Yeah, that's what all you guys say, but you'll never understand until someone you know actually needs it.
You know what, man? Don't give me that fucking medical bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that. All you guys sound the fucking same. Always talking about medicinal this, medicinal that. You know there's nothing medicinal about getting high. Face it. You guys are all a bunch of drug addicts.
If you ain't doing this, why you smoking? Why you smoking? No, 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 no.
I don't let no hater get on my nerves. I throw a peace sign later, smoking herb. I stay close to my folks, and when the roller said we all go. I'm trying to keep it cool, but the streets hot. Google Earth looking down on what we got. And that's why we still underground, paranoid stressing every time they come around. But it's a must that I live like this. No one to trust, so I'm on an independent tip. Trying to pay my rent without committing the crime and keep it cool in the meantime. I'm from the hills, every day is the new struggle. Hustle tactics, learn to make two double. Wordsmith, the mic is my tool. I hear them running their mouth, but I'm keeping it cool. I'm keeping it cool. When the haters talk shit, I don't trip, man, I'm keeping it cool. Yeah, I'm keeping it cool. When the haters talk shit, I don't trip, man, I'm keeping it cool.
I'm keeping it cool. When the haters talk shit, I'm keeping it cool.
I was taught to play my position, so I did hit the field on a mission. Scored points with the triple OGs. Who was that on the mic? Could it be oldie? Rattlesnake venom in my veins. Homies know I'll never change. For the fame or the chips, all the cars and the bling. Cause it ain't worth nothing if I ain't with my team. Still cool, even though I ain't a millionaire. But I holler when I'm chillin' there, cause I'm still prepared to drop bombs if needed. I circle back with another rap and I repeat it. I don't trip, I just clown and shake all the ones who end up holding me down. I gotta keep my cool in any situation, never fold under pressure at the police station. Man, I'm just trying to keep my head on straight, while trying to keep my bread on pace. It's cool when your pockets are huge, but when they flat, you got nothing to lose. What's worse? Go out and get it while you can, stay low, keep it quiet. You ain't gotta be the big man, cause people plotting for the quick scam have you sinking like you stepping in some quicksand. I'm still coolin' with the crew, sweet aromatic and an ice cold brew. DC shoes stay tight for running. Oh shit, man, the police coming, get out of here. Had to shake up out the scene, call up my crew and make sure they got away clean. A renegade who ain't following rules, and I don't care if you hating on me, cause I'm keeping it cool. I'm keeping it cool. When the haters talk shit, I don't trip, man, I'm keeping it cool. Yeah, I'm keeping it cool. When the haters talk shit, I don't trip, man, I'm keeping it cool. When the haters talk shit, I'm keeping it cool. I'm keeping it cool. Keep it
Fucking awesome video, dude. I'll tell you, that'll give you chills, especially if you've been there. Fuck. Quick, I jumped in the video last night.
No, it's all good. You're absolutely right, though. You know, if anybody's ever been in that situation, it's no fun at all. You know, so
No,
there's a lot of fucking cannabis haters out there. I will say that for sure.
There are. No, there. I'm just a couple minute story. There's a reason that there was a transition in my life that you guys don't know about, and it's kind of, I don't know if she's not even heard this story. It sounds asinine, but anyway, it's kind of when I became Subcool. So the first time I got busted, don't forget, Jinx Proof Genetics, Rare, Shangri-La, Go Time, and Jack's Cleaner 2. Channel Tony showing off. So the first time I got busted, I wasn't used to it. I mean, I was on fucking line getting stoned in a fucking chat room just like this without cameras when they kicked my fucking door in. So it's a shock to your system if you're not used to it. And there's a lot of rules that you're supposed to follow. But I don't care who you are. When there's 10 fucking dudes in bulletproof vests standing in your fucking house with machine guns, it is who it is. I mean, it's tough. And you get used to it. I got used to it later, but that first time it scared the shit out of me. So I tried to talk my way out of it. And in doing so, I told them, my lawyer was like, Jesus, dude, shut your fucking mouth. And the point of the story is I got arrested again. And the second time arrested, this is what I learned. And I almost got beat up, but I said, fuck you, good cop. We know we're going to the station and I'm getting a toothbrush and a cup and an orange suit. Send bad cop in there and let's not play this fucking game. And that's what happened. So if you've ever been across from those fuckers with the light, it's real. They really do that shit. I mean, they really get in your face and they stand around and they have dogs and guns with safeties off and shit. And it's a surreal experience. So Mendo Dope went through it a couple of years ago. They got chained to a tiller.
No, it was to their wheelbarrow. The wheelbarrow. Yeah, we used to walk by that shit every day. The fuckers, and chipped it. Grow Mouse in the channel. How you doing tonight? So anyway, we are not past that. Mail it. Can you help me with the county in California? I'm screwing it up bad. Is it Calaveras? Calder to Calaveras County? They fucking went nuts this week. Not DEA either. Apparently, it's one of these little right-wing counties, and they're all pissed off, and they took down a bunch of fucking growers. So drug war's not over. It's just being run by different people. So let's all take a moment to appreciate the freedom we have to smoke a piece of rosin with Rosin Tech tonight, hang out with Lickety Split Will, all our good friends in the channel, and let's remember those of us who are not so lucky right now to going through a little bit of shit and this thing they still call a drug war. All right, let's get with Miss Jill today. So first off, how did you find the visit with Frenchie the other day and his cameraman?
Oh, I've got to love Frenchie all the time. He's such a sweet man. He's just filled with so much knowledge about his craft. He's so passionate. He's traveled the world. He's learned from different people, different countries, different places. He's just an amazing person if you ever get the opportunity to talk to him, if you can understand him. But anyways, yeah, he's just a really beautiful soul.
He slows down for Jill. So all the technology out there, you know, Rosin's on the panel right now. He's got fucking bags and storage units and pollen presses and fuck, I don't know what this is. It looks like a cigarette wrapper. I'm going to assume Frenchie did not put this in a cigarette wrapper because all his hash comes in it. But look at this shit, guys. Look at this.
It's the hashish.
So this is 5-year-old aged lime. And it's a gift from Frenchie. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Presses it and mixes the terpenes together.
It's pretty fucking cool, to be honest.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what. I found the holy grail of hash stashes when I was over at Mendo Dope's house earlier this year. Man, they had a freezer full of Frenchie hash, and it was fucking all different flavors. It was great, man. I enjoyed every one of them until I passed out.
I love that Pinot hash that Frenchie has made. It's like a chocolate mint. So freaking good. And he rolls them into a cannoli.
And I don't know if he meant it, but I will tell you that Frenchie told me and Jill that him and his little photographer buddy, because Frenchie don't have a fucking car. So Jake, I don't mean to disrespect Jake. So Jake, who is the photographer / fucking driver, because Frenchie does not drive in America. Fuck that. Not especially not in California. He said he'd come back, and we have where we count seeds, we can chill it down there. And we can chill it down there. So Sid said Calaveras County with the Rastafarian Church got raided. Yeah, well, that was that was them too. But there's also something else.
Yeah, but there's something else. It is a bunch of illegal grows. It's somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and I can't remember the county it is. I think it's near to the Oregon border, but they're going to maybe completely even outlaw any commercial growing at all there.
Fucking
So they're taking down the illegal commercial grows.
So Frenchie said he would come back if we can get it down in, we think late September. He would come down and bring his little machine. I don't mean to disrespect when I say little machine. It's a fucking badass invention that he came up with, and wash some hash in our basement and crush some temple balls for the charity. So, all of it together is cool. To have the temple balls to sell for the charity would be cool. Frenchie probably has a place to sell them, which is probably pretty cool. To watch it, get it on the nerd, all that. So that was really cool, and I'm glad you did have a good time with it. So tell us what's going on. We don't get the cameras up in the garden too much anymore. Tell us what's going on up there.
I've got a couple of kosher tickets. That is golden ticket crossed with kosher kush. So we've got,
Aaron made that for us.
Yep, from DNA. So we've got a couple of those getting ready to harvest really soon. I have this beautiful little purple Afghani right here. She's about 35 days into flower.
It's a bush. It's a bushy thing. I heard it's turning colors.
Yeah. She's a purple Afghani, and she is from a really good friend of mine. And I'll tell you about. There's in a purple cannabis, and all purple plants, not just cannabis. There's a cannabinoid called linalool. It's great for anxiety, depression, acne, and it is an anticonvulsant. And then, of course, as we know, the Jack the Ripper has THCV, which is a very good, treats with depression and mood enhancer, helps with gallstones, gastritis, I can't pronounce it.
Gastritis.
Complications, heartburn, and it's a great anti-carcinogen. And so anyways, I'm going to breed these two together, and that will be a really exciting tester. I plan on doing it the next round. Right now, I currently have some blood Rex getting ready to go in, and those are, as you know, the mother of Time Rex. So we have been out of Time Rex seeds forever. So I'm really happy that I'll be able to bring those back to you in about 3 months.
I sometimes I say things other people wouldn't say, but I'm just going to say it. So everything that we made was made with a Vortex male that I chose about 4 years ago. And we still have that Vortex male. In fact, that male is the male that Tasmanian skunk is made with. But about 8 months ago, I did some trading with Duke Diamond. Duke Diamond, very odd situation. So I'm good friends with Tommy. Duke Diamond, have been my whole life. I actually got Tommy the job with Soul, and actually got Brothers Grimm created. Actually, if you ask Tommy, I can tell you. It's like, I said, well, you'll call Soul. He's like, okay. And then Soul called me. He goes, what's this guy like? I was like, dude, he's the hardest working guy I've ever met.
Awesome, dude.
So put them together. Yeah. So they hold my Jack's cleaner, F1, because as you guys know, it's been around the world a couple times. While I was in jail, some friends of mine had to hang on to it for me.
One good
so it's good to have one good person. Yeah. I hold their Apollo 13, just like I hold the Pinot. Now we tend to keep things around in live, but anyway.
And the Pinot is from Aficionado Estates.
From Minji.
And she is the mother of Cuvée, her newest cross.
Tinto. So he took 1,000 Vortex seeds down there in Colorado in their new facility, and he hunted a male from 1,000 fucking seeds. And they did it in conjunction with one of the labs down there. So what he has given me is a super, super high THC male, and we're going to outcross, remake Time Rec, and it's going to be something that we hope is even better.
Ever so slightly different.
Even slightly so different.
Or it may not, you might not even notice the difference.
Well, Phylos actually says that we will not notice that much of a difference, but
it's a pretty Vortex is actually pretty stable in my opinion.
It's
so
going to be
I don't think there's going to be.
It's going to be interesting. So it's exciting as fuck. I've never germinated 1,000 plants. I make no bones that I'm not one of these guys like Gene Finders that has these plants, or even the fucking DNA's got a building right now. They could grow every fucking seed I have in my basement.
From one end to the other.
Me and Jill talk about it all the time. When I tell her, oh man, I'm a little jealous, she goes, fuck that. I'm happy reading in an 8x8 box and having the WeedNerd Nation love us.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So I want you to tell me any tips for new growers that want to start a TJ strain, since you're making the damn seeds now. I mean, you make them, Badger cleans them.
People just need to keep it simple.
Okay.
Don't use heat mats to start your seeds. Stick your seeds either in a paper towel or stick them right in a rooter. Some people can stick them right in the soil. It doesn't really matter. Those are your best 3 options, and they should come up really quickly. Sometimes I start them in a cube under the light. Sometimes I start them in a cube already in the soil. So it's really up to you, and I haven't really noticed a difference trying it either way. If you use the paper towel method, that's a little bit harder because then you have to handle the seedling after it has came out of the seed. And one time I forgot about my Galactic Jack seeds, and I had plants that were little seedlings that were out of the shell, and just little white fragile things, and I had to be so careful to handle them, and I lost a couple. So just stick your seeds, keep it easy. Don't overwater your plants. That's one of the biggest problems that people have, is overwatering. They really, really don't need as much water as what people like to give them. Don't overlove them. You should have to handle them about every 3 days. You shouldn't have to be in there with your garden every single day messing with things. And if you do, it's not watering. So anyways, what I would suggest to a new grower is you fill 1 pot, gallon, a 2 gallon, a 10 gallon. I recommend starting young plants in a 1 gallon. You weigh that pot in your hand. It's got soil in it. It's got a little seedling doesn't weigh anything. So you just fill that pot up with soil. You feel the weight of it. You put the other one full of water it. And then you know the difference. If it's not light like this, then you don't water. So
that's a really good tip, to actually measure really
for your
good
brain
tip.
to learn.
It's a fucking really good tip. What does it weigh without water in it? That's a really good
and
tip.
on the 10 gallons, obviously you can't do that. So what my deal is with the 10 gallon, I bend over to pick it up. Comes up easy. I know it's empty. If I can feel the pressure in my back, I know that it's heavy still. So that's just my recommendation,
awesome.
because the overwatering is the biggest problem.
I got on that note, I got a joke for you, but I tell you. So I will tell you one tip on seeds. Me and Jill are talking about this right now. And we can talk about this at the end of the show or maybe the after show. I'm having some really shitty results starting TGA seeds on my deck in the middle of the summer. I germinated them outside the rock wool cools. I killed 10 because you got to actually water the motherfuckers all the time. And then the next 10 I germinated actually after I transplanted them. I was literally out there looking at them one morning. I was like, those look pretty good. I made sure you go out there and check on, see if they need water a little bit, because they're only about a ½ inch into the soil. Like an hour later, I walk out there, 5 of them are dead. So I start seeds in rapid rooters indoors, and I don't have to deal with the sun.
Well,
But
you
said
I want to explain this to everyone. And the reason Sub had so much trouble with these little seeds growing outside, and right now they've been out there for over a month, and they're only
not
this
growing.
big.
That's what I was getting to.
The reason being is, in nature, your plant would, in the winter time, the plant would die off, rot off. It's got seeds in it. The seeds would go into the ground from the rains and hitting it and everything else. And dirt would get pushed over it. And then in the springtime, when the sun starts coming out, the weather's very mild temperature. It drizzles off and on. It's natural, real more humidity in the air, but not hot humidity. So the little seedlings grow and flourish. Right now, it's taken all of the moisture out of their leaves. The intensity is just way too much for them. And they have to be able to develop a root system and a big enough canopy that their canopy protects their root system from the all of those things. They just don't have enough leaf to keep them.
And you want to know something?
Cool
Now we know why
naturally.
the guys that are doing the giant greenhouses in summer in California have the black netting on the damn outside of the greenhouses, because it's just too intense for starting babies.
Well, for example, you take a human baby outside, 2 months old, and it's gonna burn. It's not gonna be okay. It's gonna maybe die if you take the baby out there and leave it out there for 6 hours. But you go out there for 6 hours and you're gonna be perfectly okay.
So just something we noticed. And even the established, we got some Endodote, we got some Samsara, we've got a couple of different Atinto out there, and they're growing, they're happy, but they don't grow nearly as fast as anything
Even
we
the
have
little
outside.
clones that I have given
not
Sub to put
so
outside,
happy.
they're very, very slow growing, because
So-
it's the wrong time of year to put them in the ground. It needs to be April, May.
In the greenhouse that have baby plants, they're burning lights. So they're getting that extended hormones and stuff. All right, let's see. Last but not least, baby, what is going next? Looks like you're getting pretty close. What's loading in next as we get our budroom cleaned out and everything? What
Well,
you
we
got
just
next?
discussed this time it's going to be the blood rec, and we're making time rec, and also I have a JC going in, and so that
See Jill checking her notes.
That was making kaboom.
Okay.
I'll
Yep.
have to look. Okay. And so the next ones we have going in would be black cherry soda to make Ace of Spades, Blood Wreck to make Chernobyl, and Pinot to make Tinto. And that's with our Jack the Ripper mill. Right now, with making the Time Wreck with our Blood Wreck Vortex mill running. So anyways, after that run, I'll be using the JTR mill. And like I said, black cherry to make Ace of Spades, Blood Wreck, Chernobyl, Pinot to make Tinto. And then I'm also going to be making some awesome new testers. One I had talked about quite a while ago when I was still in Oregon and I wasn't able to get the project started, but now I'm going to go for it. It's the Cherry Pie OG crossed with Jack the Ripper. So it would be a really yummy cherry lemonade. And also I'm going to do the Purple Afghani Kush crossed with the Jack the Ripper and see how that new cross goes, if it's really as good as I hope it will be. And we're also going to try the Romulan. We have not tried her with Jack the Ripper yet, and it sounds like a really yummy cross. So we'll go ahead and try that out as a tester. So 3 new testers coming at you in about 6 months.
And let me tell you something that, and this goes for everybody and to the our next guest. Getting on the TGA menu has gotten fucking harder. Like, don't bring no lemon shit, because sorry.
Tired of that shit.
We're full. We got a fucking drawer full of goddamn lemons. You need Jack the Ripper. We got it. We got it covered. So we're looking for exotics. One of the reasons I'm so excited about Galactic Jack is they've got a older version of the AK-47, and they've got an older version of a sweet skunk. And these things don't exist anymore. If you buy a pack of AK right now and sell it, you're just, and grow it out, you're not going to get anything. Somebody just asked me about Dark Lights, which is actually Dead Lights. Subcool actually said it wrong, named it wrong. Motherfucking Matt Rise has capsules named incorrectly by it. When Sub messes up, man, it's on a grandiose scale.
He does that shit to me too, and I get so mad at him because I feel dumb.
It's Dead Lights, a reference to Stephen King's It. It's a high CBD strain that'll be coming out. We're going to talk more about strains that are coming out, test strains later. But my point about this is getting on the TGA menu is hard now. So I wanted to say that just because Jill's making a bunch of stuff, this stuff can easily be relegated to testers, freebies, gifts. Just because we make something or have an idea to make something, while we hope it gets up there, it's not an instant anymore. We have entire breeding crews on Galactic Garden, Bo and Tony over there working their ass off with some rare gems. We have the new Mendo dope strain in-house. Also, they are bringing us a poison that they want us to run with this Space Queen. So a lot of interesting stuff there. So we're going to kick it up with Tony and Bo here in like 1 minute, but the script says we have to take a dab break.
Oh, and someone asked about the timber lights. So I would like to talk about those, actually, because I have a couple hanging in my main bud room. But I do have my Blood Wreck females and my JC under it, just because it's at the back of the room, because I've got 4,000s. And then at the front, right by the door, I have the timbers going across. And at first I wasn't very happy with them because I was seeing some burning on the leaves of the Blood Wreck. Of course, that could be the Blood Wreck because it does get some odd discoloration. Call it.
I call it bleaching.
Bleaching? No, I wouldn't even call it that. It's
variegation.
Almost like somebody who has the skin.
Tinea versicolor.
Yeah, it's like a tinea versicolor thing. Yeah. And the coloring is just a little bit odd. So it could possibly be that plant.
Just one we think we want to put it outdoors one day.
But I raised those lights, those timber lights. I raised them probably about 1.5 feet or so one night. And I had cut all the leaves off that had been burned off of those Blood Wrecks. They're about 2 weeks into flower now. And I'm not seeing any new.
They look great. I was up there just a minute ago to grab the plant. Nice buds forming. So they look really good.
Sites, yeah.
And I got to tell you, I saw a comment the other day and she went, and it'll take a while to win her over. It's a guy that actually ran HPS for many years and he's converted his entire 14 by 14 room into timber lights. I don't know how many, but I mean a lot, like about a gazillion of those little cobs. I think he's even got them in the walls and shit. Looks like a paint booth, but he is not fucking around. He's getting 3 pounds per 1,000 watt light. 1,000 watts he has in there.
Right.
So he's not fucking around. 3 pounds per 1,000 watt light is not fucking around.
But it's more important to me the quality. So
well, he was bragging about his
my
quality.
texture has to be the same. And I want to say something. Under the I'm sorry to Matt and Renee, but under the Lush lighting, my Space Queen, my favorite plant. I've been smoking it for about 7 years straight. Still don't have a tolerance to it. God, and I savor the buds. Let me show you one of these really quick. It's just fucking God. It breaks up perfect. She
likes pot.
Smooth. It's just so amazing. So I'm getting you a really pretty bud here. It's one of my last few, but I have a big girl that I just put into flower. I had kind of trained her and pulled the branches out, so she's about like that. Anyways, so
but you didn't like it under the, and again, we love Matt and Renee. We don't dog nobody out, but it looks like a light bright, and it's different. You can't look at a cob. Like if you lay down in the bud room and turn the cobs on and look up at the sky, you're fucked. You're blind. You walk out, you're like,
well, I'm the same way with the HPSs.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was going to say about that is I don't like the quality of the bud as well. But what I also don't like, or what I've noticed, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm crazy, but what I noticed is I keep my jars of weed. I like to really cure them up good. The bud that was grown under the Lush light, the LED, I don't know if it's because it's Lush or it's just that style of LED at the time, but that bud oxidizes quicker. It'll turn brown and be nasty. It just turns gross. While the bud that was grown under HPS just stayed smooth, long, beautiful buds full of resin, just like the one I showed you. So I'm not sure, but that was my opinion of that. So I just
the old style,
the Lush.
So we will be loading the breeding room very soon with the new run, and so we'll have the timbers on as well. So stay tuned for the progress there, and to Galactic Gardens. And they're going to tell us about some new shit they got cooked. We've been talking about it all night long, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about, especially you, Bo, tell us a little bit more about AK. Tell us a little bit more the origins of these mothers that you got. Tell us about your mothers, man.
The AK was a cut that was gifted to me in my early days of growing. It came in a batch of clones. I wish I had half the cuts that were with it when I received it. It was just something that was really easy to grow for me. It was very unique, and I never found another one that was like it. And I've bought probably well over 100 seeds of the AK-47 throughout the years, trying to find something similar, and to no avail. It's just one it's special. I just keep it around. It's not always my go-to, but there's a definite medicating value to that strain that I don't get from anything else necessarily.
What's the flavor of the mom? Can you give us some terp taste, some stem rubs from the mother itself?
It's really sweet. It's like a sweet hashy tang, kind of, not tang. Tang would be orange. Sweet hashy. It's really tough to call it. I wouldn't say definite cherry, but there could be maybe a hidden cherry there to some palates. It's not to me.
Okay, gotcha. Now what about this? What about the skunk you guys have? Because I've seen I'm seeing the AK Loco, the Black Lime Reserve Loco. I'm starting, and I got to tell you guys, apologize something. I forgot. I had assumed the testers were shooting the shit to you guys. Not that there's tons of it, but actually most people are just sending it to me. So I've been forwarding it to T now. I think he's gotten a couple in the last run. A couple of people having some good reports, and just reporting in general. We had one guy got a bunch of mails, but when you get a 5-pack, that happens sometimes. But I will forward you every single report. I have a bunch of guys that test that aren't on Instagram that won't be tagging you guys. So we want to make sure you watch this stuff. The Black Lime Reserve, I have a whole lot of hope for, simply because the Pinot made, and Mean Gene's a badass breeder. I mean, me and Mean Gene are two different people. I mean, Gene spent 35 years on one fucking strain. I spent 35 years on 50 strains. So it's a different way of looking at things. I like lots of weed. I can't imagine working and smoking the same strain for 30 fucking years, but that's why Mean Gene has the really badass stable stuff. So the new Vortex crosses. So you guys are about to get finished shucking them, correct? Are they ready for testing at this point?
Yeah, they're pretty much getting ready to package them up and send them out.
Cool. And how can the nerds get a hold of the testers?
Yeah. We have to figure out the logistics of that, I guess.
It's a test question, dummy. They have to email the TGA website. Aren't you listening?
Yeah,
Look at it. He's sweet.
Is there logistics? We're the director of logistics. Director of
He
logistics.
is so fucking hot. He will not be mailing them out in this condition. I can.
No,
Hey, at least we all know his weed's super good.
They can figure it out.
Yeah,
He's not
it is.
fucking around.
Been over there.
It's sharp as fuck, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, no. When he's not, Tony's got this really cool thing. Like, he's two different people. He's like, He's like this badass dude that goes up with a chainsaw and cleans 40 acres by. I'm like, Bo, where the fuck is Tony? He goes, don't you hear? For a fucking week solid. But then he comes home and gets high and turns into this guy. So
that's because he's so tired too.
He's got to be. Man, how's your back? Is your back sore?
I got a hot tub. So you're getting as much as possible. Yeah, works pretty good.
So what's up with first let's talk about Michigan and the licenses and kind of where that's going. I mean, every state's different. We're going to hit Will in just a minute about his shit, but what's going on in Michigan? What's happening as far as medical, recreational, and what's going on?
I know they have petitions going around for legalization, but I don't follow it really too much anymore. I haven't really planned on going commercial anytime soon. You know that.
They're not doing anything to the medical law. So my intention was to stay medical and not deal with them and the government in our business 24/7.
Yeah, I like that. We have crazy meetings. So if you haven't heard, and this is fucking staggering news, we are pretty sure that we cannot go commercial here or expand here at all. Not because of the fucking wheelchair, not because of the septic tank, because they found a fucking weed. Swear to God. The fucking hippie that came up here and charged us $7,500. Jill said $750. I said, no, baby, $7,000 fucking dollars. They came up here for 30 minutes without any instrumentation, computer, just fucking hippie.
I said, I want to know what the hell that is.
We're gonna find out. But they found apparently an indigenous weed that if we grew pot in our garage would endanger this fucking weed. So apparently we can't grow here.
Well, you know,
anyway.
And here's my joke to the whole situation. I'm gonna freaking die if it was a seed from one of my wildflower packs.
It's not.
I know that's what you say, but it's possible some rare seed got in there.
You planted some shit, all the shit we planted every year.
Oh no, some's come back.
I know. So having said all of that shit, fucking lawyer, and our lawyers are like $7,500 now for last week. No shit. Transferring the information from the old lawyer to the new lawyer, setting up all of the LLCs, the C Corps, combining them, stacking them in a direction that allows us to do what I'm doing. All this is legal shit. So the corporation that I own already, that I pay all my taxes through, is going to own probably Subcool Seeds, and then Subcool Seeds is going to own TGA Genetics, and the TGA Genetics is going to own this fucking other company, and there's all this complicated shit that we're working on, and it will make you fucking head hurt. So we're sitting there in the office, and we're like, well, so basically what does it mean 2018? And to our surprise, the pot lawyer goes, oh, well, nothing really. Well, what do you fucking mean nothing? Then why are we sitting in this office? As well, you're medical marijuana patients. And that's not being taken away in 2018. So we have all of 2018 to figure something out for medical marijuana patients. So that means we can actually still grow cannabis here. We can't sell the cannabis here, which I got another location picked out, but we can still grow here. And you can see all the stupid loopholes that exist. If we can have cannabis here on this land, old fucking Subcool and Jill can do damn near anything we want to. So then I'm like, okay, well, what happens at the end of 2018? You know, is medical over? Oh, no. You still have the, what did she call it? The definitive patient.
Right. And we get rec too.
Definitive, or we get private rec, but under the medical, basically what you can do is you can say, hey, you motherfuckers let me have cannabis like 10 years ago because of this ailment. And now you're trying to take it away from me. So that you actually, at the end of it all, if you're just a cannabis patient, you have the right to definitive defense to simply say, I need this shit and I'm going to fucking grow it. And then you have the other thing that we're laughing about. And I'm trying to think of prohibition and alcohol, and hopefully it's not kind of like that. But they're going to have to wade through fields of fucking reefer to get to these small-time medical patients that are growing 10 plants in their backyard or 20 plants in their backyard. Obviously, we'll grow plants that aren't as big because, I mean, like our neighbors, everyone where we knows we're growing weed, because when you drive by our driveway, there's fucking trees in the backyard. So it's like the other day I was pulling up to my house in the mailbox. I was like, there's fucking 12 cannabis plants in my fucking yard.
You know what? I did not until I was with you the other day ever
Until I pointed it out.
Until you pointed it out.
But we have security. Everything's on cam. I will point all that shit out. Anyway, I wanted to kick it real quick.
Run an attack dog right before harvest too, as well. And I'm putting up a bunch of security lighting.
We're gonna get back to Tony after we and Bo in just a second. I want to kick it real quick to Lickety Split over here. Tell us what's going on. If you would, I learned so fucking much the other night. Talking to you and who was it? Urban, the guys we're working with. You can tell us a little bit about those guys too. But can you tell us how there's caregivers and there's, go ahead, there's 30 and then there's 800, but break it down for us, Will.
So I'll try to make it as easy, as simple as possible. Like when we came out, everybody could grow. This was 5 years ago. We had no dispensaries. So no matter what, everybody could grow. Hydro stores were popping up. Everything was happening. Then dispensaries came. And now if you're 25 miles around a dispensary, you legally cannot grow. So we have a caregiver process where if you have land or something somewhere outside of these 25 miles, you can take on 5 plants, and plus yourself, you can grow 60 to 72 plants, And then we have 130 dispensaries, and they have 2 grows, one on-site and one off-site. So it's almost like what's the word that he used yesterday? An oligopoly. It's just they're just running Arizona out here, It's the rich are just getting richer. So we found an avenue in.
But you got paper. You got some paper there, right? You worked hard.
Yeah,
Lickety split, right?
Yep. And I don't want to go too much.
I got to tell you, I won't either. I'm stepping all over you real quick, and I'll shut up. But I got to tell you that I'll shut up. But so I'm on the phone. I was on a conference call with him the other day with someone that we're working with, and the guy was pretty polite about it. He's like, "Yeah, I was trying to get that piece of paper, but I didn't get it, but he did." So yeah, go ahead.
Actually had that cool TGA poster made. Thank you. He's an official distributor if you look at the top of it.
All right, so tell us about that. I'm sorry, I cut you. Tell us about the 800.
Oh, no,
so what
okay.
can the 800 do?
We can grow 60 plants and 12 for ourselves. And then the dispensaries, you can grow unlimited. We have an unlimited amount that we can grow on your property depending on zoning. There's always zoning in every county everywhere. So as long as you find the right county to grow in, you're golden. Which we've done. We've done that.
And so basically you're going to see this, and I'll go ahead and talk about this book. I mean, I spend all the time talking about it with lawyers. So what you're going to see, this is the model you're going to see as we move into 2019. Someone like Will set up a production facility in Arizona, and we'll recreate our product. We have, it sounds simpler than it is once you bring legality into it. So in the old days, I wouldn't give somebody a fucking clone, and she still cringes when we talk about it. But the clone is going to come with a piece of paper that says, if you fuck me, I'm going to take you into court. I'm going to take every fucking thing you've ever owned away from you. And that's basically how it works nowadays. Just like if you licensed anything to anyone. So,
and I'm not too as concerned. It's a time wreck and such. That's not one of our moms. It's a strain that we chose from seed, and it's our production strain. So,
but yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't be the end of the world.
It's what's got to happen in order for us to move forward. So once that's up and running, legally, since all this shit can't transfer across state lines, a legal corporation in Arizona is going to pay my legal corporation in California for the rights to these names. So you're buying. Fucking as crazy as that shit sounds. So same thing we got to set up in Minnesota. Any state that we go into, this is how this is going to be run. I don't know if you guys know this, but 3 or 4 years ago, we set up production in Amsterdam. So we work with a gentleman named Ed Borg, who I Skype with and work with on a daily basis. You can actually buy my gear in Amsterdam. I don't talk about it that much, but it is part of owning a seed company, is having distribution into the Europe. So anyway, that's kind of the business that's going on here nowadays. And would you have ever thought we'd have been given clones and dads and out to other people? And as you guys know, Galactic Gardens works with some of our certified fathers right now. Hell, I think I sent you a mom you liked, not to breed with.
I just sent him Romulan.
Is it Romulan you like so much? Is that the one you want to Joe Pine?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're looking really good too.
Yeah, good. Thanks to the shout out to the technology has changed so much. Clone shippers, motherfucking Dixie cup with a light in it. Who'd have thought of that
And
shit?
it keeps the dirt from falling everywhere too, because it has.
If you put it together, the first time I left the damn O-ring out and I sent somebody the guy that's laughing right now, I sent him a cup of dirt with a light on.
There's always a ring missing. Always.
Yeah, there's always a fucking ring missing, dude.
This time we forgot to turn the light on, but
yeah,
it's okay.
This time we sent it without the light on, but it worked. But anyway, so part of what kind of goes on, and it's crazy that we talk about this, and I'm going to divert one more second before I let everybody open up and we have a bullshit session here for the end of the show. Is I still have a hard time believing that while we're sitting here talking about legalization of cannabis, and I'm comparing in my head to prohibition of alcohol, because alcohol is legal to drink nowadays, even though I don't drink and never will again. But you can't make it. I mean, I think if you try to make it and drive around with it, it's still kind of a problem. So we can kind of use that as an analogy a little bit, but it is a little bit different in the fact that all it takes to grow a cannabis plant is to stick the seed in the fucking dirt. And me and Jill, in the last, since me and her got together, we have produced over 3.5 million seeds, and I only have about 500,000 of them on hand right now. So we sent 3 million seeds into the universe. And me and Jill met on a website called Overgrow, and the mission was that all else to overgrow the fucking planet by simply everybody goes like, okay, you fucking cops, you got to go to everybody's motherfucking house. That's what's basically happened. Every single person is growing cannabis now. And the point of this is, how the hell are they going to ever stop it when you can text Will right now and get a pack of TGA seeds and be growing those fuckers tomorrow? That's kind of sad. I got to give a shout out real quick. Minnesota Nice's son is sick. I believe he had some food poisoning. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, they
No
went,
way?
to,
I think
they went to the fair today, so he might have ate something bad.
Oh, okay, so he probably got some.
Probably ate too much.
Probably got something he wouldn't should have. So little Minnesota Nice is under the weather there. So anyway, I diverted. Let me get back to the business here real quick. You gonna go? Okay, I love you.
Hi everyone. Can we
Bye,
do one last?
Hell yeah, let's do it. We're almost
session?
done, actually. You can't hang out for 10 minutes?
Oh.
You don't have 10 minutes in you?
My back's really starting to hurt.
Okay, well, let's let Jill go with a bong hit then. Jill, believe it or not, is for as good a shape she is, she can carry fucking pots up and down those stairs, the Ganja Farmer stairs, longer than she can sit in the chair. I wonder what is it your curvature?
I'm sitting and it puts pressure on my spine, because that's why I have such a nice arch chin, is because I have an S and a C. So it just happened to be we're in a good place where it gave me the right shape.
So her super sexy waist is actually bad for her, right? In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Or my
for
back
her.
goes real deep.
Anyway. Alan's pot up steps, so I'm just surprised
Up
when
the
she
hill,
tells me.
yeah. Probably a 20% grade.
Yeah. All right, let's do one hit with the lovely Miss Jill. Thanks for coming on. Great information, great input tonight. Thank you very much.
And thank you everybody for joining us. And
I'm going to warn you guys on the show tonight. We're going to be doing metal on the after show. So a little rocking out for a little while. Let's see what else is coming up. So we mentioned the deadlights. Bye, baby.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Miss Jill has been very busy up in the breeding room, as we mentioned. So everything is back in stock now on our end, the Flav and everything. Also, our good friends at North Star Genetics has given us the Pinot Rita is back in stock. The Kush is back in stock. Scarlet Queen is now on the menu. That is something that about 10 years ago, it's in the Book of Dank. It is the Killer Queen times the Space Queen. So it's Vic's best works combined together. North Star actually presented it to me kind of as a gift. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Bam, Scarlet Queen right there. So it's already on the website. And also in production now by North Star Genetics and available on the site, Lemon Stilton. So took the Exodus cheese and we crossed it with the Jack the Ripper and we produced something that's incredible tasting. It's got, it's one of those strains where you take a hit and you exhale, and you take another hit and you exhale. I had about 1/4 gram of rosin. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's just this funky, fromage-y, cheesy, almost body odor funk with all this crazy ass lemon to it. It's got this like, it's really hard to describe. It's like funkin' lemon out, but it's also one of those smells. You know those smells that you smell and it stinks, but then you smell it again. You're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's lemon Stilton. It's got this. It smells like dessert, but it smells like it's gone bad slightly. So I want to make sure that everybody knows to check out our sponsors tonight, mainly Rosin. You're right, Lizard Tony. Everybody open up their mics if you don't mind. Everybody can put up with the echo. So Rosin Tech, thank you guys for coming on tonight. I learned a lot, and hopefully you guys will come back for some more questions. I think you may be on break there. Bo, good job tonight. You're coming out of your shell a little bit. You're able to talk just a little bit with the camera on you. It's gone to plaid. Will?
I know
what's going on, big guy?
if Bo told me that he was going to bring the Jesus OG over there with him, I probably would have went over there and hung out with them guys. Jeez, Bo.
Oh man,
What?
they look pretty baked over there. I think they're having a real good time.
They look pretty fun. I'm pretty happy. Hey, Will, you got any specials?
At home
You got any freebies over there?
I'm sorry, Sub.
You got any freebies? Didn't I send you some freebies? What you got on the tester market? How you get a
yeah.
tester out of you? How do you get out of something out of you? Tell me what's going on.
Let's see. We got Lemon Stilton. Kind of recap. Space Queen, or Scarlet Queen, I'm sorry.
Bam! Oh, so you motherfuckers is about to ask me how to get Scarlet Queen and Lemon Stilton, right? How do you like that? Bam! Transition.
Whoosh.
Whoosh. Grow the Lemon Stilton, guys. I really would. No
Oh,
shit.
it looks so cool.
It's just one of those strains, man. Exodus cheese, same one Big Buddha runs. Times our Jack the Ripper mail. That's a winter chicken dinner, right?
Was that one of the crosses that you did with North Star?
Yeah, North Star. I will tell you, North Star is a big part of TGA's future. Me and him are working together on a 20,000 square foot breeding facility. He has a passion for growing and health. He has health on his side. He is not the most personable person. I don't think he would get pissed off if I said that, if he heard me saying that about him. I'm better with people. So together we're going to recreate or keep creating. He makes about 50% of the strains for us now in his big facility that's going to move. And he has 70 fucking mothers that you guys have never heard about. Guess what's on the stock list that he sent me today? The Nepali times Space Queen. It's not even on the fucking radar yet, dude. I got to like get it in a pack, get it to lickety split.
Get it to Minnesota, nice.
Get it
to Minnesota, nice. Yeah, get it to Malik. Yeah, so yeah, it's too much stuff is going on with the creation of TGA Genetics. We're going to continue to do what we do for a long time. The growing part of it, who the fuck knows? I can't believe one day I may have to drive to a warehouse or some shit, but it looks like that is going to happen because not just because of remember last week it was all about a toilet and a septic tank. And this week it's all about some fucking weed that I have out there on my land. So we will figure it out and lot more to come. What you got, Minnesota Nice?
Good Gorilla Glue 4 times Quirkle on the Facebook. I'll have to view the pictures.
I want to say
go ahead.
In December here in Michigan, the commercial licenses they're gonna be giving them out 500,000 and 1,500 plant count. So, and our medical laws are a lot like Arizona, like lickety split over here is talking about. So it's like it's gonna open up. It's gonna be wild. Recreational might hit
And by the way, I told the lead position as a TGA rep has never been fulfilled like it is right this second. And so you're looking at the cat right there in a little blue shirt. And last night he was talking about Nevada next. I guess there's something going on. I guess the law allows us to go into whatever.
We're going to use these imaginary lines against him for sure.
Yeah, you heard it from the man himself. So I would like to thank all of my guests, especially Vincent from Rosin Tech. I think we learned a lot tonight. Make sure you guys check out their Dab Nation. Check out their products. It sounds like they provide as much information as they do support. If you can't afford a machine, and believe me, I'm going to try to talk them out of one of their bigger machines The 4x6 plate is wearing me out down there. I want a big one. I would already tell you that their bags and their products, their accessories that go along with their equipment are bar none. And that little $7,500 rosin roller right there is one bad ass dude. If you happen to have $7,500, you can feed fucking sheets into it continuously. Side that scrapes off the weed and sticks it in a freezer. It's just a continuous fucking process. So make sure you check out the fine folks over there at Rosin Tech. Thanks for Lickety Split for hanging out. Tony and Bo, it's late where they are. They're probably pretty stoned right now. Did you guys have fun?
Oh yeah, I had a great time.
Fucking awesome, dude. Thank you guys for hanging out. Fucking jealous. I'd love to have a taste of that cuvee. I can't imagine what those crystals taste like.
Oh, it's like Nerds, kind of like a Nerds candy. It's sweet, party kind of. It's
like Nerds, he said. That is
WeedNerd strain. Woo!
That's it, Minnesota. Nice. Take us out. I'll see you guys on the after show. I'll create the link in about 10 minutes. Come over and rock out with us. Talk some bullshit. We'll talk some grow tech.
Sounds good.
Come on.
Man, what you doing? Y'all need to push rewind. Think about this, homies. What you rewind? One line and that's all it took. Addicted to it and it can't be shook. See him search on the ground for crumbs. One sniff and they face was numb. Paranoid in his life was stressed. Tripping out when there ain't none left. Look through my eyes and watch them fiend. Try to wake them up from their dream. Crystal methamphetamine. Got hooked and now they'll never be the same. Cocaine. Took another pinch, went right to the brain. Dollar bills had to snort the lines. Seen some homies straight lose their mind. Think about the shit one more time. Let's rewind. In his hands, milligrams. Seen him hooked on Oxycontin. Eating ice cream off the floor. Taking pills, they brain is rotten. Ecstasy, he's fizzing now. Eyes dilated and start to sweat. Soma got him up in a coma. Heart beating out of his chest. Side effects. When they pop a pill cause they need a fix. Can't sit still and always twitch. Scratching themselves, got the itch. It's time to switch. Stop popping pills, they'll melt your mind. Think about this shit one more time.
Looking at those in the chat. Robert White, you can let it roll. Minnesota, just let it roll. Robert White, fucking Mullet Army taking care of all the whack shit going on. You guys come on over to the other show. See you in a few minutes. I'll send a link out to a couple people. Just remember, you guys come over, I'm gonna play music. We can talk and rock. You guys have a nice day.
Mushrooms. He on fungus, his brain is frying. All caps. 1/8 how he stays flying. One hit, he was seeing traces. Bad tripping, spaced out. Now I'm going through different phases. Psychedelic. Enter a world of hard drugs. Man-made, damage your brain. Leaving you scarred up, highly addictive. And it's blowing their mind. So think about this shit one more time. Intoxicated, faded, about to swerve. Hopped in his ride, got a DUI, ran up on the curb. His words are slurred, and his vision's blurred, seeing double. Talking shit at the bar, acting like a drunk. Every night he stumbles. When he's drinking Hennessy, he thinks everyone is his enemy. 40 ounces of anger, got him loaded, one in the chamber. Alcoholics, drowning inside the bottle, letting it twist their mind. Think about this shit one more time.